Peace, ladies. Okay, this is part two to so you really want to be a baddie, huh? If you did not watch the first part to this video, please go back and watch it so it will make more sense. This conversation is an ongoing conversation, and I'm splitting it into two parts because it started to get a little long and I don't want to bore you. So this is why I'm doing a second part. So in the first part, I just want to kind of briefly go over what we were talking about. We talked about some celebrities and influencers that push a certain message and they don't really live up to it. And then that begs the question, why are we following them if that's not even what they want, right? We also went over, just putting yourself into that, trying to live up to this term of bad bee, this lifestyle. Where is it going to take you in life? And is it really important? Why are we centering our lives around this chasing perfection and just putting ourselves in a mental space where it's so unhealthy for us and where there's going to be endless insecurities? So those are some of the questions we brought up last time. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because it's very important, especially if you're around, younger, or you're around my age or even a little older. Even if you are a more mature woman, if you're trying to follow these trends, really think about why. Why would you do it? You're not getting paid millions of dollars. Even if you were, is that really a positive thing to be putting out to young girls? Also, these people pushing the same message don't even want to live their life like this. So why? Why would we do it? Instead of being a baddie, why don't we become good women? Why can't we just be a good woman? So when I brought up lifestyle, I'm talking about embracing singleness, right? Like I said in this song, in a Beyonce song, she says, "You single girls will be fine, so go ahead and dance in the club and do what you're gonna do, have fun." While I'm over here married with a child, with a whole husband, and living in luxury, having the life that I love, right? That I want to live. And I'm not really living up to that same message that I'm putting out there. I bring up singleness because there is a glamorization of being single. And to be honest, trigger warning, okay? Some of this stuff might be triggering, but it is important. So I'm just letting you know it might get a little emotional. So just brace yourself a little bit. But when we think of, when we say we're proud to be single or we're happily single, us women, I don't really think we are happily single. I think there's a difference between saying you're happily single and saying that you're okay, if this is their circumstance, you're accepting of being single. I think there's a huge difference. I don't think really anyone, man or woman, really actually wants to be single, unless, a few exceptions, right? Some people just don't want to be in a relationship, okay, but the majority of us, men and women, we want to have family, right? We are social creatures. We are created to be social and have family. So when people are promoting singleness, promoting you to do things that are harmful to you and things, that are not really going to benefit you later on in life or even in your present life, you really have to be careful on who you get your advice from, right? And really think about it and really protect yourself and be talking to ladies around you. Because if we are in this competition, if we're always in competition, we're not thinking about how it's affecting girls or women, right, around us. If we are on Instagram trying to be a baddie, so many issues can come up from that. It affects the whole society, but it affects us women and girls first, of course, because it's targeted towards us. And I'm especially worried for the young girls growing up in this culture, and we are not putting out positive examples for these girls to follow. So this is all they're seeing, is all they know, and they think this is normal. There's a normalization of this culture of chasing perfection, and it's so toxic. So I think we really need to talk about it more, and we shouldn't be afraid to talk about it, because is really taking control of our own, what we consume in the media and what we let into our spirit. So there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just making a choice. And it's just being more supportive for ourselves and for the women and girls around us. So we need to get out of that fantasy, fake, toxic, endless, just terrible world that has been created for us women, and we need to take control of our own lives, and we need to create an environment where it is truly uplifting, where we are comfortable and we are accepting of ourselves, and we we don't even entertain living up to these beauty standards or this baddie image or lifestyle. We don't entertain it. We cut it off. We ignore it. That's how you're gonna get out of this, because that's how I did it. I wasn't always this comfortable with myself. I wasn't always this secure with myself. I would scroll down Instagram just like you, maybe, just like thousands of other girls and teenagers and women, even more mature women who are being influenced. I would do the same thing. Compare myself, get down on myself. It got really bad for me at certain points, right? But once you learn to cut that out of your life, stop following these people. Stop listening to these songs. Stop paying attention to messaging in the media that is harmful and toxic to us. And really take your focus on something more positive, and peace and wholeness and completeness and acceptance and courage. It does take some courage. And also, ladies, I know I'm ranting a little bit, but this is so important. I'm gonna be completely honest. These beauty standards we are doing to ourselves. It takes someone to start them, but we are continuing and perpetuating this cycle. Think about if no girls were trying to live up to this baddie image. We weren't trying to buy all this makeup, all these clothing, all this pictures and everything. Imagine if we weren't actually paying attention to it. Imagine if we ignored it. Imagine if we stopped doing it. Other girls will feel comfortable to stop doing it. They will feel comfortable to have a bare face in public. They'll feel comfortable to not have to look sexy for everybody all the time. They won't have to put themselves through an exhausting cycle of toxicity, right? We really could be living better, but we are playing too much. Okay, we could do this for ourselves. And I know this because I've done it for myself. And that means you can do it too. And when I say we are creating this for ourselves, if we're still in competition with each other, we're not thinking about how our actions affect other people. And yes, all of our actions affect people around us, and affect society as a whole. We're not thinking about how our actions, even those pictures that we put up online, we're not thinking about how that could affect other girls who are looking up to us and who want to look like us, or an image that you're trying to put out there. We're not thinking about these girls growing up. We're not thinking about anything but ourselves, really, and our validation. But we need to find a different source of validation. We need to find a different source of peace and feeling comfortable with ourselves. Doesn't that sound like such a more freeing life, and like worry-free, stress-free? Like, we really need to take care of our mental and our spiritual well-being and really protect ourselves. So this whole cycle of toxic culture surrounding perfection of image and lifestyle and appearance is really going to take your focus off what's really important. It's going to imbalance you, because now this small thing where we should have been taking less time and energy is really blown up to careers and centering our life around it, which is very imbalanced, and it's unhealthy as well. So there is definitely a difference. Maintaining our natural beauty as women is one thing, which I actually believe is positive, and I actually believe it's necessary to a degree, and it's does make us feel good and confident and comfortable. Maintaining our beauty is one thing. And going overboard with extreme perfection goals in the name of beauty is a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing, and it's very toxic to us. Give yourself permission to disengage from this crazy cycle of toxic beauty. And I don't even want to call it beauty because we need a different term for this. It's not beautiful, it's ugly. You know, I don't know what to call it, but this toxic culture surrounding looks and appearance and lifestyle. Why don't we just be good women? Why do we always need validation and attention from other people? Why do we feel the need to look perfect? And why do we feel the need to go over the top? Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? We need to consider why we're doing this. I want to leave with this question. If you saw your mother or your sister or your daughter or your best friend trying to live up to these standards and even potentially doing some harmful things to portray this image or this lifestyle, and you saw them hurting, and you saw their insecurities, and you saw this energy and this effort and this time wasted, would you want that for them? Would you want that for your mother? Would you really want this for your sister, your daughter, or yourself? So please consider these questions I have for you. And please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Alright, peace, ladies.